It's the home opener. The Lake Orion Dragons welcome in the Highlanders from Rochester Adams. We've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Pre-game is underwritten by Malash's Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. The Malash family has been serving Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. Give them a call at 248-393-2222 or stop by their location at 3800 South Lapeer Road. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss with Chris Frisching for the home opener of the 2017 Dragon season. With us is our producer-director, Ian Locke, John Atwater's pushing the buttons down in the van, and our entire Orion TV crew. Bob Seeger once wrote, "Turn the page." And this year, it is a page turning of sorts. If you want to follow the Dragons and who's leading the teams at each level, you better buy a program. And Chris, it's that there are new faces, but they're not, because the people at the tops of each program are not strangers to the program.
Not at all, but you know what? The game of football. I heard a quote today. It says, it says, "Don't be afraid of change. Be afraid of not changing." And that's what you're going to see here tonight and the rest of the season moving forward. The Dragons program is that coaches get all the best product on the field, and the game itself change within a half. That game plan is going to change within a quarter, within a series. That game plan is going to change, and so coaches got to be able to coach on the fly. And the staff that Coach Blackstock has put together, leading the team at all different levels, the program at all different levels, is a team that knows how to get there. They know how to get to the top. They know what needs to be done to make it to the top. And so I wouldn't be too concerned about that change. There's certainly change and transition, but at the same time, change can be good, and certainly that's what Lake Orion's looking for.
Rochester Adams comes in after an absence from the red. They return to the red division from the white, and it's not really too much of a raise, or it's certainly not much of a cut down from what they're playing. Both of them are dog-eat-dog divisions. Both of them are going to be very competitive.
I'm so glad to see this, what I consider a rivalry. When I was here for the 7 years coaching here at Lake Orion, to me, this is a game I marked on my calendar, on my schedule. They're 10 miles away, Rochester Adams is, and I'm glad that they're back on our schedule playing. That's the great thing about high school football, is establishing rivalries. Oxford 3 miles up the road, Rochester Adams is right here around the corner. I mean, bringing those rivalries back to the game of high school football is what it's all about, and that's what we're here to see here tonight.
The OAA Red kind of had an up and down week last week. Clarkston and Bloomfield Hills won. You had an upset, West Bloomfield getting beat. You had a classic game for the ages, Southfield A&T with a triple overtime loss to Davison. And it's early, it's week 2. It seems that we look and say it's going to be a dogfight in week 2, but by the end of the year, when we get into weeks 8 and 9, some of the better teams will rise to the top.
It always happens that way, and West Bloomfield and Clarkston and Southfield A&T are getting the notoriety. There's probably a clear separation in terms of this OAA Red division, those three being at the top. Certainly Lake Orion's going to want to work its way back into this. Rochester Adams is going to be a good program, and is a good program. They had a big win last week, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But top to bottom, we've got Bloomfield Hills coming into the program, into the conference as well. And so that's what makes this OAA Red one of the best conferences in the entire state of Michigan, the parity and the competition from top to bottom.
It is the home opener. The Dragons welcome in the Highlanders. It's the renewal of a classic. And we've got it all for you here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Stay with us.
Today terrorizing innocent citizens. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers.
Dude!
They're not looking out for you.
Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected with strong, healthy bones.
The United States Air Force has a proud history of leading our nation in embracing diversity. We've been reaching new heights for years by understanding it's our individual experiences which make us strong. You can share in this success by seeking opportunities to learn and grow as a member of a diverse team. We are the world's greatest Air Force, not because of what we do, but who we are. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Just before kickoff, the Lake Orion Dragons taking on the Rochester Adams Highlanders. The Highlanders are coached by head coach Tony Petrito. He is in his 17th year, 92-34 in the regular season, 20-9 in the playoffs, and that includes a state championship in his first year as head coach in 1993. As we alluded to in pregame, Lake Orion coached by head coach John Blackstock. This is his first year as head coach, but it's his 20th year with the program. We're just getting ready for the team to come on the field. The cheerleaders are gathered up under the Go Dragons banner from the Pep Club. The band breaks into the fight song, and for the home opener, soon the Dragons take the field. As we alluded to, Coach Blackstock was an assistant coach for 19 years, coaching defensive backs and special teams, and he's pretty much kept up those duties in addition to his head coaching duties. This series, Lake Orion leads the overall series 19-13, and we'll get to the series later. Chris, you've got your keys to the game.
Yeah, I think number one, Lake Orion's got to clean up their special teams, in particular their punt team. Last week against Chippewa Valley, they gave up 2 blocked punts, which ended up resulting into Chippewa Valley's 13 points. Number two, convert touchdowns once inside the red zone. Last week, same thing. Lake Orion got inside the red zone twice in the first half, kicked a field goal the first time, second time was turned over on downs, didn't get any points, so it was 7-3 going into the half. And then lastly, I think, stop Rochester Adams' four-headed monster. You're going to hear us talk about Chase Coretta, Steven Roncelli, Vincent Gray, and Cole Petrito. They rushed for 376 total yards last week against Rochester. We've got to stop that four-headed monster.
We will pause right now as Director of Bands Michael Steele leads the band in our national anthem. first period of action is brought to you by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009. We will also mention to you that this presentation is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School video program in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. Live streams of games will be available all season long at www.nfhsnetwork.com. 50% of all proceeds go back into the award-winning video program here at Lake Orion High School. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon sports to the world. Chris, it's the home opener. It's a beautiful night. For the last day of August, there's a little touch of chill in the air.
Chilly. The Rochester Adams side is awful bright. They're looking right into the sun, and it's but that's football. It's part of the game, and you can't control those elements, but you can control your attitude, your efforts, your passions, your preparation, and both teams I know put in a good week of work in preparing for this big return to a rivalry.
Ben Patton, number 19, will kick off for the Highlanders. Deep for the Dragons is Drew Van Heck, number 10, and looks like he's going to take the kickoff in the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Dragons will start out 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Chris, you saw last week against Chippewa Valley the Dragons alternated a lot at quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's the game plan. Each quarterback, Johnny Marshall, number 18, is going to start under center for the Dragons tonight. Each one of the quarterbacks, Blaze Lauer being the other, so the sophomore, number 2, do a nice job of doing some things different. They're playing to their strengths, so depending upon the time and the situation of the game, the staff has decided to rotate quarterbacks, and once they find a rhythm, they were able to put some points on the board last week against Chip Valley.
Handoff up the middle to Dylan Frank. He's up over the 20 to maybe the 21, just over the 21. Gain of 1, bring up 2nd and 9.
Dylan was certainly the workhorse last week, 25 carries, 86 yards, and on the ground that is, but he also had 2 big receptions, which were screen passes, middle screens for both for touchdowns, and you can see Dylan kind of gimping off the field. Tyler Vestrand coming in to take his spot at the single back position.
2 wideouts for the Dragon, tight end lined up on the right side, offset eye in the backfield. Marshall rolls, throws, complete to number 7, Sam Kinney. And he's up to the 30, and that'll be a 1st down for the Dragons.
Yeah, nice little rollout. Sam Kinney was the fullback to the Lake Orion side, the strength side, and just ran a little nice flare out in the backfield. Marshall rolled out, had time, and got his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage and completed the football.
Drew Van Heck split wide to the right. Number 11, Pierce Burke, split left. I formation in the backfield. And a flag, and they're going to call a illegal procedure penalty against the Dragons, so that'll back them up 5.
Going back to that last 1st down play, you see Marshall under center. Nice little play action fake rolling out. And number 77, the end for Rochester Adams, way inside. And Kinney with a nice completion for a 1st down.
Vestrand going around right end, cuts it back upfield, gets maybe 2. A little bit of the penalty yardage back. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13.
One of the things you see different this year, from an offensive standpoint, is right now Johnny Marshall, the quarterback, is coming to the sideline every time to gather the play from Coach Fisher. So he's having to do a lot of running out there to gather the play, but that's the way they decided to get the plays in.
2 wideouts, I formation. Marshall looks, throws. A little too high for Drew Van Heck. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I think Marshall thought he was running that post route a little deeper, And number 7, Cole Petrito, the defensive back that was covering Van Heck, kind of forced Van Heck to flatten out that route, and Marshall thought he was going a little bit deeper, thus the incompletion.
Good-sized defensive line for the Highlanders, led by Cole Mitchell, 6'2", 250. Active set of linebackers. Third down for the Dragons. Go to a 3-wide look with a single back in the backfield. Marshall looks, throws. Can't quite bring it in. Intended for number 4, Matt Freeman. Looks like he just put that up a little high, and Freeman couldn't come down with it.
And Marshall's got time. Nice pocket formed. Wasn't quite able to foul through, but you're right. I don't know that would have been enough for the first down, but nonetheless, Petrito was on Freeman nice and tight, but when it's all said and done, wide receiver, that's a ball you got to catch.
Parker Bust will come on to kick. Number 99, Jordan Lewis, is in as the personal protector, and he can protect. Good kick. Takes a Dragon bounce, now comes back near the 40-yard line where the Dragons will stop it. And Adams will take over 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
I know Coach Blackstock and the crew really spent a lot of time on that putt unit this week to make sure that what happened last week against Chippewa Valley didn't happen again. And certainly that was a big point of emphasis this week in practice, and good protection at that time.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Blackstock during the week, and usually when you have breakdowns in punt coverage, it's the personal protector doesn't pick it up, it's a bad snap, and he said, no, it's just that we let too many people get in.
Mm-hmm.
So Adams takes over, 1st and 10. They're doing a single back with a double slot. Handoff up the middle to number 4, Steven Roncelli. Chris, you talked about him in the pregame. He's part of that 3-headed monster.
There's going to be 4 when it's all said and done. Last week Roncelli had 10 carries, 86 yards, and scored a 36-yard touchdown against Rochester. They beat Rochester 38-6 last week. Coach Petrito, at Rochester Adams head coach, says he thinks he's got 4 of the best two-way players in the entire Oakland County.
Handoff. Number 6, Chase Coretta, coming around the right side. He's up to the 48-yard line.
So we talked about Roncelli last play. Here's Coretta coming on a sweep to the right. He carries a ball, nice stiff arm there. Good open field tackle by number 29, Chad Doland. Coretta had 11 carries last week for 55 yards on the ground, 5 yards an average, but 3 touchdowns. So obviously production from those 2 guys that we've mentioned so far.
Trips to the left, handoff up the middle. Number 4, Steve Roncelli, takes it up into Dragon territory for a 1st down for the Highlanders.
Just a little reverse pivot, a little trap inside, and Roncelli knows just gets enough for that 1st down. Again, you don't rush for 376 yards against a football team like they did last week against Rochester and not have multiple weapons on that team. So they only completed 2 balls the entire game, but nonetheless, they're very good on the ground.
Isaac Kinney in on the stop for the Dragons, so it's 1st and 10. Handoff to number 6, Chase Coretta. He's down to the 40-yard line, gain of 7.
Little sweep to the outside, to the right-hand side, and good movement by number 74, Justin Leonard, their right tackle. Got some movement, got some push, and yeah, 2nd and 3. We were talking about names in the pregame, off the air, about how we're seeing some of the same names come through the programs for Lake Orion. The Coretta boy that mentioned, he came through for our Detroit Lions summer football camps way back when. It's just hard to believe.
Faked an inside handoff, and the ball was taken by number 8.
And quarterback.
Zach Sold.
Yeah, quarterback just kept. Soldan just kept, and on that little veer option. And that's the thing. You can't get lulled to sleep thinking that he's going to hand the football off to Roncelli, the single back. You can't get lulled to sleep, and at that time, Soldan decided to keep it and got the first down for Adams.
But by the same respect, this is the same kind of offense that Lake Orion looked at during practice for years, because it's the same type of thing that Coach Bell ran. Soldan on the keeper. Got jammed up at the line, spun off, and gained about 3.
And we're going to talk about Tyler Vestrand's making the tackle on this play. We're going to talk about him. Nice job coming off his block and making the open field tackle for about a 3-yard gain.
And Trevor Burke bit hard on the fake. He took himself right out of the play. So it's 2nd down and 6 for Adams on the 32-yard line. 6:30 left here in the first quarter. A little mix-up in the backfield. Number 7, Cole Petrito, took the handoff, and he was swamped. Jordan Lewis was in there.
Yeah, Jordan did a nice job of holding his ground, and as Petrito comes back to the outside, actually, Lewis did a nice job of trailing from behind, and the outside pressure forced Petrito back inside right to Lewis to make the tackle. So well done, nice pursuit to the ball.
Loss of 3, it's 3rd down and 7 from the Dragon 33. Inside handoff, number 4, Roncelli kept his feet churning and picked up the first down. Watch him keep his feet moving.
Yep, nothing fancy there, just a straight fullback dive, and that forward body lean ended up getting him the first down. You know, the one individual we haven't talked much about is talked about 4 people that stopped. Vincent Gray, number 2 from Rochester Adams. He's a kid who's committed to University of Missouri already as a defensive back. So that's the other 4 of the 4 that we've got to make sure Lake Orion contains tonight.
He comes out and splits far to the right. Inside handoff, number 7, Cole Petrito. He's about 2 yards short of another first down.
That's Cole Petrito's 2nd carry of the game, and is able to find some room there. Nice open, nice hole off the left side of the line. He had 9 carries last week for 134 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. So, again, 3 guys that carrying the ball, putting the ball in the end zone for them. Lake Orion's got to find a way to maintain or slow this drive down.
Yeah, he just followed the right guard, Cole Mitchell, and just went on his back. Handoff around the left side, and it's going to be a first down. Cole Petrito again. And Adams has themselves an 8-play drive going that's chewed up a lot of the clock here in the first quarter. We're at 4:39 left to play. Jordan Lewis back in at a defensive tackle. Keeper by the quarterback, number 52, Dustin Sokolowski, read it out and dropped him.
Yeah, well done getting off that block. Chris Cade also came in and helped out there at the end.
So that brings up 2nd and 10 for the Highlanders. Ball is just over the 15-yard line.
You know, Soldan, the Adams quarterback is kind of a game manager. He's not very flashy. But he maintains does a nice job of securing the football and getting the ball to the players he needs to. He's carried the ball twice the last 2 plays in a row, but He decides to keep this time as opposed to giving it.
Carried that for about a gain of 1.
I don't know what he was reading there, because had he given that to Coretta on the sweep, there was some grass there.
Chris Cade did a great job cutting in and dropping him. So it's 3rd down and 9 from the 14. Adams splits out 1 receiver, 2 back in the backfield. Looked like Petrito on the carry.
Yeah, Chad Dolan did a nice job from his...
Chase Coretta, I'm sorry.
Number 29 from his safety position did a nice job of coming down the alley and forcing the cutback and ultimately allowing number 7, Sam Kinney, and others to make and be part of that play.
Adams lines up for a 26-yard field goal attempt. Number 19, Ben Patton, is the kicker. Left foots it, and he's wide left. And we got a flag down. We might have roughing the holder. Personal foul against the Dragons, called by referee Scott Walendowski. Yep, number 89, Sam Grayford, cut in and just couldn't stop himself and took the kicker's plant leg out from underneath it, and that's going to get called every time. So first down and goal for Adams.
The Lake Orion coaches are saying that ball was tipped and therefore it shouldn't be roughing the kicker.
Handoff off the left side. Number 4, Stephen Roncelli, in for the Adams touchdown.
Not much there. I mean, number 15, Chris Cade, came down inside, and Roncelli bounced it outside, and there was no Dragon defender out there, and he takes it in from 5 yards out.
Good job sealing it off by the back. So Ben Patton in to try the PAT. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 2:20 left here in the first quarter. Rochester Adams takes a 7-0 lead.
You know, this game, we know this, but as evidence right there in those last 2 plays, excluding the extra point, this game is a game of inches. I mean, we go from turning the ball over, Adams getting inside the red zone, coming out with no points, thinking after a missed field goal, and because of the blocked or the roughing into the kicker penalty, that allows them to go back on offense. Next play, it's 7-0, like that. Never
want to give them a second chance. We will remind you while we have this pause that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. 60 yards on 11 plays for the Adams touchdown. Patton has it teed up on the 40. End over end kick coming down into the end zone, and that'll come out to the 20. Once again, replays for this game are sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009.
You know, Coach Blackstock is a special teams coordinator for so long. It's got to annoy him and got to aggravate him in that last week, 2 block punts. resulted in 13 points for Chippewa Valley, and a special teams gaffe, if you will, a penalty roughing the kicker, results into 7 points for the Highlanders this time. So those are things we talked about at the outset for the keys of the game. You got to clean up the special teams unit. It's a huge part of the game, and it's already resulted into Lake Orion being down 7-0.
Dylan Frank back in at the tailback position, and he just flinched, and the Dragons are going to be backed up 5. He just moved his right arm a little bit, and that was enough to draw the flag. Our officiating crew tonight, the referee, we've mentioned him once before, Scott Walendowski. Head linesman is Scott Barrell. Line judge is Frank Franklin. The back judge is Jason Clark, and the umpire is Sean Barrell. Dylan Frank on the carry up into the middle of the line, and he's going to go to about the 17, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 13 for the Dragons.
Dylan just using his lead blocker, Trevor Burke, there and trying to find what he can. He got about 3 yards back. Still bring up a 2nd and long. Johnny Marshall still in at quarterback for the Dragons.
Yeah, Pierce Burke checked in at one of the wideout positions, and Drew Van Hack is split wide to the right. Marshall rolling, look, got pressure, rolls away from it, looks and throws it away.
Tell you what, that's an incomplete pass, but that's quite a play by Marshall to avoid that pressure from Garrett Lineberger. Lineberger's got the line on him and somehow eludes and is able to throw the ball away and out of bounds and at least prevent a sack to make it the third and forever.
Yeah, he did a good job just with a spin move to get away from him.
Although they are talking about whether the ball did cross the line of scrimmage on the throwaway.
From up here, it looked like it did. And I think they just called grounding. Coach Blackstock is down pleading his case. From up here, it looked like it crossed the line. So Dragons are back in their end zone. 2 penalties on this drive alone.
Last week I saw 3rd and 39. This is 3rd and 26, so not quite as.
Marshall rolling right, looking, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. He got rocked in the end zone by number 4, Steve Roncelli.
Roncelli comes from that middle linebacker positions and wasn't even touched. And yeah, you're right on the follow through. Luckily, Marshall got it away, incomplete, but
So Parker Blust will kick out of his end zone. Number 7, Cole Petrito, lines up around the Lake Orion 37-yard line.
And Adams was watching that game film from last week and the 2 block punts and how Chip Valley got through.
As a punter, you have to be careful that you don't step on the white line. Nice kick. Takes it about the 42. And he'll be down about the Lake Orion 37-yard line.
Nice
where
nice
Adams
coverage.
takes over 1st and 10.
Isaac Kinney and Marcus Brown did a nice job of corralling Petrito there and got about a 5-yard return, but well done on a nice punt by Blust. Lake Orion's defense was all said and done. They lost the game last night. The defense played very, very well. You can't give an offense the short fields in which to work, which, again, we talked about 13 points given up. They only gave up 1 big play last week.
From the shotgun, pass out on the right flat to number 6, Chase Coretta. He's corralled and brought down. Let's take it down to our sideline reporter, the winner of the ONTV Golden Mike Award, Kevin McCormick.
Yeah, guys, down here on the field, one thing that I wanted to point out to people's attention is the different look offense that Lake Orion has this year. It's one of those situations where we move from a spread offense to a power. Seems like we're getting a little adjusted to it right now, so hopefully you'll see a more physical offense as we go forward. So look for that.
Thanks, Kev. Number 7, Cole Petrito on the run, and he's inside the 10-yard line. He found a seam right there. He's got a seam.
It's a play that was very successful for Adams last week versus Rochester. To Petrito as well, and 27-yard gain in the red zone, 1st and 10.
Chad Dolan did his best to try to bring him down, just couldn't get both hands on him. So 1st and goal for Adams on the 10. Jack Bishop split wide to the right. Soldan keeps it around the left side, is driven out of bounds. Number 15, Chris Cade, chased him out.
Yeah, he does a nice job of getting off Vincent Gray's block, and then number 16, Russell Hastings, gets there and puts him out of bounds for little to no gain. Well, maybe a yard gain.
Gain of 1, it's still 2nd and goal. That's the end of the first quarter. Oh, I'm sorry, timeout by the Dragons with 20.4 seconds left. While we have a break, we will remind you to, matter of fact, Chris will remind you.
Go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. ONTV, working to bring Lake Orion to the world.
Jordan Lewis checks in on the defensive line. Deion Boyce playing the left cornerback position. Handoff. Number 4, Steve Roncelli, he's dropped. Jordan Lewis got in there along with Sam Kinney.
Lewis does a nice job coming from his nose guard spot, just throwing, coming flat down the line to Roncelli. Throws Kalen Bowers off and does a nice job going flat down the line to make the tackle.
That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Rochester Adams 7, Lake Orion nothing. Your first period of action has been brought to you by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of Orion Neighborhood Television since 2009. Your first quarter score, Adams 7, Lake Orion nothing. We'll be right back.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
And it will be 4th down from about the 3.5-yard line. Nice job rolling out by Soldan. And Ben Patton in for a field goal attempt. And the kick is good. Just underway here in the second quarter. Rochester Adams increases their lead to 10-0. Be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on ONTV. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage, Orion, ONTV.org, for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also visit our YouTube link for games on demand, www.ONTV.org. While we have a quick minute, I just want to give a quick shout out to my neighbor, Bud Kenny. He's been a little under the weather, just getting out of St. Joe's Hospital. Bud, get back soon. He is a huge fan of our broadcast on ONTV, and Bud, get home soon. Ben Patton to kick off. Puts the left foot into it, low kick. Taken by one of the up men. Number 24, Isaac Kinney. He's up over the 40 to the 43-yard line, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10.
Nice starting field position, and Lake Orion's got to find a way to establish a running game, establish some play-action pass, and start moving the football.
Well, usually you do the low kick because you've got a good return man back there. He's put both his kicks in the end zone, and there's not that much of a win. Blaze Lauer in at quarterback, hands off. Dylan Frank up to the 45, pushes his way to the 46. It'll be 2nd down.
Lauer came in last week, and it was 7 of 8 of 70 to 72 yards and a touchdown, so did a nice job last week. And so again, trying to find that offensive balance and giving it to their horse, Dylan Frank. Nice carry on 1st down.
Lauer checks with Coach Fisher, comes back, calls the play. Pierce Burke splits to the right. Drew Van Heck split wide left. Offset backs in the backfield. Blaze Lauer looks, he gets racked. Number 54 and number 79, Reed Vogt, sandwiched him for about a 2-yard loss. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, we just never got to the pressure on the outside, and not much Lauer could do.
Twins to the left. The action fake, got pressure coming from behind. He's going to run it, and he's not going to get the 1st down. He's run out around the 49-yard line of Adams, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Does a nice job, play action fake, rolling out and sees that green grass in front of him. Dylan Frank's doing a nice job blocking, and that's what Lauer does. He adds that other dimension to the quarterback role, where you get him out on the perimeter, and he's able to do some things with his feet.
4th down and 2, and the Dragons are going to punt it away. Number 7, Cole Petrito, drops deep for the Highlanders. Good snap. Nice kick. Going down and into the end zone. And Rochester Adams will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. So it's been something on every series. Whether they just can't get to the marker on a scramble, or they've been playing really long field all day. You haven't had a lot of 2nd and shorts, 3rd and shorts. They've been playing with the long field.
Yeah, a couple penalties early on that have hurt them and made 1st and long, 2nd and longs. Those are tough things to overcome against a good Highlanders football team.
Handoff around the outside. Number 7, Cole Petrito on the run. Come from his right slot position. Had a nice seam to work with. Gain of 9, and Chris, there's the difference. Rochester's looking at 2nd and 1, and the Dragons have had long fields.
It makes a big difference in how you move the ball downfield.
Inside handoff, number 4 to Roncelli. He's got the 1st down over the 30 to the 31.
We talked about game planning at the outset, the change within the game, and it changes your whole play calling philosophy when you get to certain locations. Yeah, every coach offensively has a 2nd and short package, 2nd and 3rd package, 2nd and long package, but it changed your confidence level also of your kids when you're getting big chunks on 1st down. And so Lake Orion's got to find a way to not only get the ball back, but also start making sure that they're holding Rochester, especially on that 1st down.
1st and 10, double wide, double slot, single back in the backfield, single back up. Play fake by the quarterback, and Soldan takes it up over the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Well, I think you see right there the watch Roncelli get tackled by 2 Lake Orion players, or at least 1, and Soldan was able to keep the ball on that veer option, and that's the power of the way they run their offense and the fakes, and the fact that Roncelli has run the ball well, Petrito has run the ball well, Coretta has run the ball well, and now you got Soldan keeping the ball, and that's where it makes it difficult for an entire week to practice against that, because your scout team offense obviously isn't as well versed in running this offense as Adams is.
And Chris Cade's been a busy young man tonight. Number 6, Chase Coretta on the inside handoff. He's going to gain about 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 from the 39-yard line.
Yes, Sam Kinney did a nice job of maintaining and grabbing that back of that jersey to hold on to Coretta, and then you saw a swarm of other green Dragons. There's Kinney with he's got him on the backside, and then there's 3 or 4 Dragons to be there. To Sokolowski and others to make the play.
So big 3rd down. Pass down the field, looking, intercepted by the Dragons. Incomplete. Number 11, Pierce Burke had it. Oh, I'm sorry, that was number 30.
Parker Edmonds, yeah.
31, Parker Edmonds.
Really good coverage on Vincent Gray. Again, Rochester Adams commit to Missouri. Really good coverage by Edmonds. He was right in Gray's back pocket. It would have been a tough ball to complete. Well done.
So 4th and 2, and Adams is going to go for it. Nope, quick kick. And that'll be out of bounds about the 34-yard line.
They ran that quick kick last week as well, so.
Dragons will take over 1st and 10 from their own 34.
A decent field position for the Dragons, so it's time to start to put together a drive and get some points on the scoreboard here. 7:16 to go in the second.
Last 2 possessions, they've had it at their own 43, now at their own 34. Blaze Lauer returns at quarterback. Sam Kinney's the upback. Dylan Frank is the tailback. Frank on the carry. Gets about 2, maybe 3. Up to the 37-yard line. 7 minutes left here in the first half. Keep watching the back judge to see if running to the sideline to get the play called in takes really any more time. Inside handoff, and Blaze Lauer, he went to do the play fake and it didn't fool anyone.
Yeah, number 50, Hunter Drobnich, was right there. In on the stop. Too much penetration from his defensive tackle position.
So 3rd down and 9. Matt Freeman checks in. Tyler Vestran. Dylan Frank is out. Casey Stronach is out. And we have a stoppage on the field like Orion calls timeout. During this sports season, ONTV will be covering a large variety of games. Our sports coverage will include varsity volleyball, soccer, football, and swimming. Select games will be streamed live on the nfhsnetwork.com and will be replayed on our channel Comcast 10 and AT&T Channel 99. Visit OrionONTV.org for our program schedule. We will be back here next week with a home football game against West Bloomfield. The schedule makers jammed us up with a lot of home games early in the season. Week 9 will be here. That will be a crossover. We will have it for you. 3rd down and 9 for the Dragons. Lauer rolling, looking, getting pressure, cuts back. He's got open field. Past the 40, got a first down. Just over the 40 to the 44 and a half, and he only had to get to the 44.
Lauer does a nice job of rolling out, but as soon as he sees backside pressure, he feels it. He finds a seam. Really was nobody open and downfield, and Lauer, that's just being an athlete, making a good play and knowing where the sticks are and doing the job a quarterback should do.
Certainly good awareness to see the pressure, get away from it, and have that lane up the left side. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. On the carry is that Frank?
Kobe Manzo.
Kobe Manzo on the carry. And we have flags on the play.
Manzo does a nice job running the ball hard, keeping both hands on the football, securing that football.
If there's anything to make an old coach feel even older, it's watching the sons of kids you coached in high school come out and play varsity football. Kobe, of course, the son of Jim Manzo, the former basketball and baseball coach here at Lake Orion. Personal foul against Adams. So that'll tack 15 more on. It's a spot foul. So they'll march off from midfield. So Dragons get a first down at the Adams 35-yard line. 5:18 left here in the second quarter. Dragons down 10, looking to push the ball in. Manzo, the deep back. He gets the carry. Up through the line. Down to the inside the 30 to about the 27. Good hard run by Kobe Manzo.
Yeah, good hard run, but look at the surge up front by that Lake Orion right side of the line. Really the whole line for that matter. Look at the wall. Look at the backside pull. Look at the fullback leading. All those things combined resulted in that 7-yard gain.
This just in, Kobe Manzo's only a sophomore. He'll be around for a couple more years. Lauer, Manzo up the middle. To the 38, they're going to call it. It'll bring up the scoreboard had third down. They've got it at third down and 2. Dragons with their best drive of the night right now. Manzo again, and he's dropped in the backfield. Number 54, Garrett Lineberger.
I didn't see who it was, but someone came backside and hit Manzo and forced the fumble.
I did not see the
Ryan
fumble.
Riefenberg ends up picking the loose ball up.
Right there.
And Blaze Lauer makes a tackle. He's knocked out by number 54, Garrett Lineberger. So, huge play for Adams. Unfortunate for the Dragons. Because like you said, Dragons were driving, getting into close to field goal range at least.
So Adams takes over on their own 42. On the fumble. We have a stoppage on the field. Timeout, Rochester Adams with 3:57 left to play.
ONTV is getting ready to launch our brand new internet radio station. You can create your own podcast or radio show or sign up to become a DJ. For more information on the radio station, give us a call at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-1060.
That is going to be something.
What are we going to do?
I've seen the setup.
What podcast or radio show are we going to put together?
I've been approached, and the thing is, this is all the stuff that I wanted to do when I was in school, when I was young. So now it's coming coming to fruition. I don't know what to do. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. Handoff. Number 6, Chase Coretta. He's over the 45 to the 47. Where it'll be second down and about 5.
Yeah, Dolan does a nice job of, that's a tough open field tackle coming again from his safety spot and making that tackle. Well done by number 29.
So second down and 5, they're calling it on the scoreboard. Trips to the right. Carry by the quarterback, Zach Solden. He's got a first down into Dragon territory at the 46-yard line.
I think they've always been this way, but Rochester Adams, that is, but they're very methodical. Nothing fancy, nothing, but they've got weapons. They've got skilled players that know what to do. They're very patient when they run the football. They read well, and they've got guys up front that can move defenders, and as a result, that's what you're seeing right now. 10-0 Rochester Adams.
Back to pass, looking, throwing, got a receiver, caught. Vincent Gray inside the 10 to the 9. Nice pass by Zach Solden, but we have a flag back at the Adams 48-yard line. So we'll check the flag out. One of the personal foul against Lake Orion. The play will stand.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Let's see if we can
Chad
see.
Dolan was in good position, and Gray just went up and made the play. I mean, not much more you can do other than obviously knock it down, but Dolan's right there in the kid's in Gray's back pocket, and give Gray credit. He made a nice play.
And you said, Gray's a great athlete. He's an early commit, and he showed why right there.
Mm-hmm.
So with the penalty yardage, it's 1st and goal from the 5. One wide out for the Highlanders, Twins in the backfield. Soldan on the keeper, he gets maybe a yard.
Sokolowski and Hastings in there on the stop. Along with Manzo.
So the Dragons again pinned back in their own end. And that defense has got to be getting tired. Twins in the backfield. Inside handoff, in for the score. Number Chase Coretta, number 6, in for the touchdown. Same thing, he just found a little seam, broke a tackle, and made it in. So Ben Patton again is on for the extra point. Zach Soldan is the holder. Ball's down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:54 left in the first half. Adams increases their lead to 17-0. Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza, located at 1091 South Lapeer Road, have been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. Give them a call at 248-814-7559. So Adams will get the ball to start the second half. So with 1:54 and 2 timeouts, you can get down the field. But they're playing, that being said, it's still against what's shown to be affordable Adams defense.
Yeah, no question about it.
Line drive kick. Taken by Drew Van Heck on the 10. Up over to the 29 or 30. They'll mark him down at the 29-yard line, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. So Blaze Lauer has played the second quarter after Johnny Marshall played the first. Blaze comes out to finish this off. Tyler Vestrand in at the running back position. 4 wides for the Dragons. Well, taken by number 4, Matt Freeman on the sweep. Got a gain of about a yard. They're marking it on the 30. So 2nd and 9. 4 wides again. Lauer back to throw. Got pressure. He's going down. He's down on the 20-yard line. And he just didn't have a chance.
Lauer listed at 5'10", 165, and he straight drop back, and the pocket collapsed, and there's not much he could do. He tried to roll out, but the pass lanes of Rochester Adams were such that a shorter quarterback stepping up in the pocket would make it very difficult. And there was no outside opportunities to roll out because of the pass rush by Adams. So 3rd and 19.
Garrett Lineberger in on the stop. We've called his name a couple times tonight. I think the Dragons are just going to let the clock run out. Oh. They're going to have 26.4 seconds. And the Dragons called timeout with 24 seconds left. So 1 timeout left for each team. Okay, your Coach Blackstock, what do you tell them at halftime?
You know what? We've got to stop the mistakes. It's the penalty on the missed field goal. It's the turning the football over when you're about to drive that ultimately resulted into 14 points. You eliminate some of those mistakes that you've made, and guess what? We defensively, Lake Orion, Rochester Adams, we'll find out at halftime the statistics, but when it's all said and done, the defense hasn't played all that bad. And so if we can force some turnovers, if we can find a couple big plays offensively to get back on the board, we can get right back into this football game.
3 wides for the Dragons. Handoff. Number 32, Tyler Vestrand. Dragons stop the clock with 17.3 seconds left. Be 3rd down and 19 to go. We had a flag on the play.
Was that what that was?
I
missed that.
And it's against Adams. Let me get the call again. They're going to mark the ball.
Number 4, Stephen Roncelli, is awful demonstrative, if you will.
Personal foul face mask against the Highlanders. So it's 3rd down and 4
I don't know
from the 35.
Don't know if he was mad at himself for doing that or what, but
Lauer back to throw. He's sacked with 7.2 seconds remaining. I don't know if he went to run the clock out or what happened, but he had pressure right up the middle. And the clock runs out. Let's throw it down to Kevin McCormick. Kev?
The score, Rochester Adams 17, Lake Orion.
So, guys, one of the things that was shaping up this year for the Dragons was a quarterback battle between senior Johnny Marshall and sophomore Blaze Lauer. Johnny's more of a pure pocket passer, whereas Blaze is more mobile, and thinking that we would have an advantage with one over the other. But right now, tonight, they're both struggling. So we've got some work to do on the offensive line. I know that the coaches are working with the players, going over the schemes to really try to shore up that offensive line to give either quarterback a chance to really turn something and make something happen in tonight's game. We'll see how it goes in the second half.
Thanks, Kev. We're at the half. Rochester Adams leads the Lake Orion Dragons 17-0. Halftime is sponsored by Molossus Palace Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Molossus Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s. 17-0 at the half. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
Today, Eric Almirola behind the wheel in that 43 car.
We all have a role to play here at Richard Petty Motorsports. We respect each other, work hard, and that helped us get the big win in Daytona. My partners in the U.S. Air Force also know that it takes a team to make each mission a success. Your coworkers, family, and friends are your team. Treat them with respect, and together you can accomplish great things. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Halftime is sponsored by Molossus Palace Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Molossus Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s.
Tonight, the band presents the first parts of their 2017 halftime show entitled Decades, featuring music from the 70s through the 2000s. We start Decades with Ozzy Osbourne's hit Crazy Train. Drum majors Jacob Roman, Matt George, Connor H., and Warren Huff. You made the game. biggest hits from those immortal rockers. It's Detroit Rock City.
Halftime is sponsored by Molossus Palace, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, located at 3800 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Molossus Palace has been serving Lake Orion's automotive needs since the 1960s.
You'd do anything to take care of that spot on your lawn. So why not take care of that spot on your skin? If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the cancer that kills one person every hour. Check your skin for suspicious or changing spots. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out what to look for. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Just before the start of the second half, the Lake Orion Dragons trail the Rochester Adams Highlanders 17-0. Doug Corliss and Chris Fritching. And Chris, you've got some halftime stats.
Well, the most important one you just mentioned is 17-0 Rochester Adams over Lake Orion. Yes, individual stats I do not have. We are struggling with getting the internet and the service up here. But I do know total yards, Rochester Adams 161 total yards to Lake Orion's 13. And that kind of, that says it all in terms of the dominance of the Highlanders, at least in this first half tonight. So took advantage of, again, a penalty on a roughing the kicker. It turned that into 7 points in the next play. A fumble as the Lake Orion was driving, even down 10-0. They ended up converting that turnover into a 60-some-odd yard drive to go up 17-0. So I don't want to say those are the only two big plays that happened, but those are results. As a result, you're seeing a 17-0 score. So yes, Rochester Adams has moved the football. They've not been in big plays. Just again, like I said in the first half, very methodical, very, very deliberate in what they do. They get chunks of yardage here and there, and it all adds up.
We always talked about the period between week 1 and week 2 is the big leap. Mm-hmm. That's where you fix the things that went wrong and worked on the things that needed improvement. And the punt protection has been better. That was their main issue. They've tightened that up, but they've still got to find a way to figure out this Rochester Adams defense and be able to stop the Rochester Adams offense, because they're also shooting themselves in the foot.
Right, and Lake Orion has not found a rhythm yet on when it comes to an offensive flow. They haven't found that game breaker offensively to be able to turn things around, and Lake Orion's got to find a way to do that. So,
your third quarter of action is brought to you by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. Their 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. Scoreboard for the second half is brought to you by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. And they're a very good place to do business with as well. So ready for the second half. Parker Blust will kick off for the Dragons. Number 6, Chase Coretta back deep for the Highlanders. Referee blows his whistle. Parker approaches. High end over end kick into the end zone. Adams will take over. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. We will again remind you that this presentation is brought to you by the Lake Orion High School video program in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. Live streams of games will be available all season long at www.nfhsnetwork.com. 50% of all proceeds go back into the award-winning video program here at Lake Orion High School. Orion Neighborhood Television thanks our student crews for their hard work and dedication to bring Dragon sports to the world. First down carry, number 7, Cole Petrito, up over the 20 to about the 25, gain of 5.
Fake the little dive to Roncelli, and Petrito comes around to the left-hand side, and again, as we talked about, there's a 5-yard gain on first down. Makes your play calling on second down, even third down, if you get to that point, that much easier. So many more options in your book, if you will.
So second down and 5. Twins to the right, single wide out to the left. Handoff up the middle, no gain. Jordan Lewis is in there. Number 52, Dustin Sokolowski was in.
Yeah, Lagerquist as well, number 33 from his defensive tackle position, did a nice job of scraping down line and making that tackle. So big third down play for the Dragons as they've got to find a way. As you said in the first half, the defense looks awful tired. With a 20-minute break at halftime, you're refreshed now. You're ready to go. Got to get a stop here on third down.
From the gun, back to pass, looks, throws, got a first down up to the 35-yard line. Goes number 7, Cole Petrito.
They don't pass a lot, but when they do, tonight at least they've been very successful.
Well, Soldan had lots of time. He had a good pocket and was able to get the ball out. So first and 10 for the Highlanders. Ball's right on the 35-yard line. Trips to the right, single wide out to the left. Handoff up the middle, number 4. Got jammed up in the middle. That's Steve Roncelli. He got jammed up, bounced it outside, and turned it into about a 1.5 2 yard gain.
Sokolowski, Manzo, and Burke.
So we have a 2nd and 8 for the Highlanders.
Gotta find a way to get the ball back. Force a turnover, botched exchange, whatever it might be.
Second down and 8. Back pressure, looking to throw. Jordan Lewis took a swing at him and was able to scramble out to the 45. Looks like he picked up a first down. Jordan Lewis almost had it.
Let's see Jordan from his nose tackle position here. There's pressure. Yeah, he whiffed right there, and unfortunately for the Dragons, it resulted in a first down.
So first and 10 from the 45, just underway here in the third quarter. Pleased to be joined up in the booth by Lyle Sanderson, our supervisor of officials for the OAA. First and 10, Twins to the left, handoff up the middle. Number 4, Steve Roncelli, gets maybe a yard and a half. It'll bring up second and long. And you're right. Here's where the playbook narrows some for you. When you've got 2nd and 2, you can call anything you want.
Lagerquist and Kinney on the stop for the Dragons.
Just under 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Double wide, double slot look for the Highlanders. Motion coming left. And we have a procedure penalty against Rochester Adams. So that'll back them up 5. Now repeat second down. It'll be 2nd and 13. It'll be from the 42-yard line. Cody Manzo's been manning that middle linebacker position, doing a good job. He's only, as we said, he's only a sophomore. And
Soldon, quarterback's coming off the field. Carter Ferris, number 15, coming in at quarterback for Adams. Don't know what the deal was.
He's jumping up and down over on the sideline. So Carter Ferris, he's a 6-foot sophomore. Looks, throws, complete to number 2, Vincent Gray. Got some of the penalty yardage back. He's up to the 28-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Good job by Parker Edmonds on the open field tackle against Gray. Keep saying it, but it's another big 3rd down for the Dragons. Rochester Adams has converted well tonight on 3rd down.
Twins to the left, single wide out to the right. Back throw, look, throwing long. Got Gray. Inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Simple little hitch and go, and pump fake right there, and Ferris does a nice job of throwing the ball. Gray catches the ball high and away, and got 1 foot inbounds. I think maybe even got 2 feet inbounds, and you know, Ferris has come in 2 balls, 2 completions.
He had 3 people in his face as he let that one go and threw a nice ball. So 1st and 10 for Adams.
Interesting, Cole Petrito's under center right now. Well, not under center, but I'm scared in the shotgun, excuse me.
Keeps it, gets about back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a half a yard, if that much. It'll bring up 2nd down. Scoreboard's still calling it 2nd and 10, so will we.
So 3 different quarterbacks in this drive for Adams. Interesting.
I didn't see anybody limp off. I can't say that there's been an injury. A lot of times the coach just wants to get a young guy some playing time. Cole Petrito still in. Ball goes to number 4, Steve Roncelli. He's around the right side. And he's close to a 1st down, going to be maybe a yard short. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Not much of a defensive surge that time. Big void for Roncelli to run through. Ferris back in at quarterback for Adams.
Single wide out. Cole Petrito splits wide left. Handoff to number 6.
Sokolowski there.
Correct. Sokolowski
initially,
met him and dropped him.
Initially, and then Hastings got there to clean up. Look at Sokolowski coming, boom, untouched. Right there's Gottkaretta, couldn't quite get him down. And then Hastings does a nice job finishing it off. Big play for the Dragons.
So that makes it 4th down and 9. And they're kind of in that no man's land. They're almost too far to try a field goal, so they're going to go for it. Coach Petrito over talking to the head linesman. And Rochester Adams is going to call timeout. 6:15 left here in the third. Remind you again, DVD copies can be purchased by calling Orion Neighborhood Television at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. 4th and 9 for the Highlanders. They're up 17-0. Ball situated on the 23-yard line. We have trips to the left and a single wide out to the right, single back in the backfield. Ferris looks, throws, end zone. Touchdown for Adams. Great catch. Who was that? Number 8, was that Solden?
That's Coretta.
Okay.
Chase Coretta in the slot here now on the top of your screen. Carter Ferris in the shotgun. And all Coretta does is run a post to the middle of the field. Wide open. Does a nice job extending for that football into the end zone.
Nice catch because number 31, Parker Edmonds, was cutting across, was right in his line of vision. Ben Patton puts the extra point through. 6:09 left here in the third. Highlanders up 24-0.
Go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. ONTV working to bring Lake Orion to the world. You into social media?
I am on Facebook. It's the only way I can see pictures of my kids and my grandkids. So I am on Facebook, but I am not on Twitter or any of the others. Sometimes I think they'd rather text message than talk to me in person. Ben Patton approaches, puts a foot into it, low kick. Taken on the 5, up to the 10. Looked like
Matt Freeman on the return.
Matt Freeman,
yep.
Yeah. You know, they got to go back to their other uniforms that have a little bigger numbers. I still, after doing this for 11 years, we still haven't thought to bring binoculars up to the press box. So 6:03 left here in the third. The Dragons got to put a drive together.
Blaze Lauer in at quarterback for the Dragons. Start the second half.
Blaze played the second quarter. Handoff inside. Dylan Frank up over the 25 to the 27. Let's go down to Kevin McCormick on the sidelines. Kev?
So, guys, this year is a year of transition for the Dragons. After 19 seasons in the head coach spot, Chris Bell moved up to athletic director and turned the reins over to new head coach John Blackstock, who made a lot of coaching changes on the staff. So this year is becoming a transition year, working through a lot of the kinks of a new strategy and a new style of offense. So we're still kind of working out the bugs, but so far we'll get it worked out one way or another.
Dylan Frank on the carry. Thanks, Kevin. Dylan Frank on the carry, gets about 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Dragons.
It looks like Dylan almost was bringing Blaze's hand with him. He was carrying the ball and Blaze Lauer with him for a couple-yard game. One of those decisions that Blaze has to decide whether he's going to give it or keep it himself. And
if you're going to give it, get your hand out of there.
It was hard for him to do it that time.
Blaze in the shotgun. Play fake. Back around. He's got pressure, and down he goes.
Tell you what, number 4, Roncelli, is everywhere. Every time you see a play. Defensively, he runs the ball on offense. It's a single back, but boy, here he makes that play and untouched.
He got right by Casey Stronach, and all Casey could do is wave at him. So 4th down, Parker Bluss comes in, and he's in punt formation. Cole Petrito back deep for Adams. End over end kick, taking it midfield. He's got a blocker in front of him, and he's going to be down about the 43-yard line. Where Adams will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, Chris Cade was in on the stop. Jordan Lewis in on the stop from his personal protector position.
I'll tell you what, you put Jordan Lewis in as a personal protector, you can protect a lot of area. He's a big man. So Adams takes over 1st and 10. The ball is spotted on the 44 in the center of the field. Defensive front, right now you've got Trevor Burke at the nose for the Dragons. Double wide, double slot, motion this side, taken by number 6, Chase Coretta. He got about a yard and a half. And they're going to mark it 2nd down on the 39.
Again, we talked about their running backs and their patience and their ability to see cutback lanes, and Coretta did a nice job there. At that time, the right guard, Reed Vogt, was pulling to the right and was able to pull Tyler Vestra and the linebacker with him. Chase Coretta was able to cut back inside that block for about a 5-yard gain.
2nd and 5, quarterback keeper down to about the 36. By Soldan, who is back in at quarterback. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2, and this is what we talked about. It opens up the playbook a lot more when you have 3rd and short.
Tell you what, and it also opens the play. I'm looking at this Rochester Adams football team, and I'm seeing Soldan run the offense this way. And that last series we just saw, you know, their sophomore quarterback, Carter Ferris, put the ball in the air 3 times. So they've got some versatility, not only amongst the backs that they've got in the game right now, but between their quarterbacks as well.
Tight formation, number 6, Chase Coretta takes it. He's got a 1st down at the 33.
Taking advantage of the talents of your ball club, your athletes, being able to do different things with different people. I know that's what Lake Orion's trying to do with the rotating of Lauer and Marshall at quarterback, because each of those quarterbacks does some things differently and does them well differently. And so it's a matter of finding that rhythm and finding that consistency offensively that Lake Orion has got to do. But in order to do that, we got to get the ball back.
So 1st and 10, ball's marked on the 34. One back in the backfield, he gets the carry, and he gets down to the 30. I believe that was Roncelli, number 4, yeah. Quick hitter up the middle. He had a little seam, was able to squeeze through for 4.
Trevor Burke on the stop. That's one thing Lake Orion does a lot of, is rotating that defensive line, those interior guys. give them fresh looks, give them opportunities to get a rest in between a couple plays at a time. So we've got some depth there, which is a nice luxury to have.
So 2nd and 6, ball's on the 30.
Oh,
good hit.
Sam Kinney.
Sam Kinney came in and flattened him.
Right for that middle linebacker spot. You can see him right off your screen right now. Bam. Right there. Good open field tackle.
Cole Petrito wants to get the number off that truck.
Listed at 6'3", 240. I don't want to get hit by someone 6'3", 240.
Jordan Lewis checks back in. He's at 6'2", 305.
And that's it. If the defensive line is doing their job, that allows those linebackers to be able to come free open and make plays like Kenny did on Petrito that time. So, again, it's a tribute to the defensive line doing their job in front, rotating those guys in, keeping those guys fresh. It allows those linebackers to flow and attack and make plays defensively.
3rd down and 5. Ball's marked on the 29-yard line. Both Lake Orion still has 3 timeouts.
Carter Ferris back in at quarterback.
Carter Ferris throws. Got him. Did he get in? Touchdown Adams. Number 18, Ben Lucy on the catch. And it's the old thing that wide receivers coaches teach. Go up and get it.
Tell you what, I'm impressed with that Carter Ferris kid. He's come in and had 4 plays, 4 completions, 2 touchdowns. As a sophomore, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Patton on for the extra point, and it's going to be a fake. He throws, got it, in for the 2-point conversion. To number 7, Cole Petrito. I don't know if that was a design or if it's just a bad snap and he rolled out.
I don't know either. It sure didn't look like it, but it was successful nonetheless.
So with 1:07 left here in the 3rd, the score now is Rochester Adams 32, Lake Orion nothing. Be sure to tune in to your replays of your favorite games right here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at oriontv.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also, visit our YouTube link for games on demand, www.oriontv.org. 43 yards, 5 plays. 2-point conversion makes it a 32-0 lead for the Highlanders. Ben Patton, the junior kicker, with the ball teed up, approaches, end over end kick into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20 where Lake Orion will take over, 1st and 10. You hate to say time's running out, but time's running out. They've got to get something together.
You know, in a situation like this, while I guess no lead is ever insurmountable, what you've got to start to establish in some way, shape, or form is some consistency and some confidence on the offensive side of the ball. You know, it wasn't until late, about 5:40 or so to go in the 4th quarter on last week, where Lake Orion scored their first touchdown of the season. They ended up scoring 2 in that in the 2 minutes, and within a 2 or 3 minute span of the 4th quarter. They haven't scored any points tonight. It's a matter of now trying to find some confidence offensively that they can take into the 4th quarter and into certainly next game.
Blaze Lauer on the handoff. Outside run to Matt Freeman. He's up. Trying to see where they ran him out of bounds. They're giving him an 8-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 2.
Marshall's in at quarterback.
Marshall on the handoff around the far side. Handoff to number 10, Drew Van Heck. He picks up the first down. Dragons on the move. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Tight formation. Dylan Frank, the lone back in the backfield. Marshall under center. Hands to Frank. Got an opening. Up near and over the 40. And Chris, now the Dragons are in that 2nd down and short position. With a 2nd down and 2.
A much easier position to be in, but it hasn't been that way to this point in time.
Again, tight formation. Dylan Frank, the lone back. Motion taken by number 4, Matt Freeman. And he's trapped behind the line and dropped for a 1-yard loss. That'll bring up a 3rd down. The scoreboard's calling it 3rd and 1, but that is also the end of the 3rd quarter. We played 3. Rochester Adams 32, Lake Orion nothing. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. 3rd quarter has been sponsored by Classic Lanes, your home for family fun and entertainment in Rochester Hills. The 32-lane facility offers state-of-the-art bowling equipment for both league and recreational bowlers. Check them out at myclassiclanes.com. And the scoreboard for the 2nd half is underwritten by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. So the break we were going to take will not come to fruition. We continue into the start of the 4th quarter. Dragons down 32-0. Dragons have the ball 3rd and 1 on their own 44-yard line. Motion. Dylan Frank on the carry. He's trying to string it out. He's got the first down. And a gain of 1. But that's all he needed. So the down box keeps moving. It's 1st and 10. Ball's on the 45. He looked a little hesitant.
Well, I was just going to say, Dylan's a very good north and south runner. You're going this way. When we got to go laterally, you can see the speed from Rochester Adams, how quick they are for going laterally, and that makes it difficult. They were able to close down the gap.
Marshall complete. Number 11, Pierce Burke on the catch and a good gain. He had time to throw. Pierce got open and Marshall hit him.
And that's more of what obviously Lake Orion needs to find other guys that can contribute offensively that are going to make plays and get first downs, move the chains, put points on the board.
Carry this way, number 7, Sam Kinney. Oh, I'm sorry, number 4, Matt Freeman again. And really what the Dragons are doing now are giving just what Adams gave them. They're going to a spread, they're going to a jet, they're sweeping the ends, and they're moving the ball.
Taking advantage. Freeman's run the ball really well in this quarter, this series, I should say.
Flag, illegal procedure against the Dragons. That'll back them up 5. And you went from a second and manageable, now you're in a second and long.
Right guard Ben Gardner was the culprit there.
So it's back to 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 28-yard line. Dylan Frank trying to break it outside, and there's just nothing there. Got a gain of maybe a yard or 2.
Try to get flow going the opposite way and then bring Frank back the other way. But Rochester did a nice job crediting on the tackle.
They're calling it no gain, so it's 3rd and 10 from the 28. John Marshall continues at quarterback, drops, looks, got pressure. Still looking, throws it away.
They might call him again.
They may call him again for grounding because the ball went out of bounds behind the yard marker.
No call, bring him a 4th down.
They did not call it. So it's 4th and 10. Ball on the 28. And the Dragons are going for it. Twins to the left. Marshall back to throw. Looks. Caught.
Heck of a catch.
Heck of a catch. Number 11, Pierce Burke on the catch. And he caught that not only in traffic, but turning backwards to get it.
Yeah, and that being said, I don't know that Marshall could have thrown it even better because if he throws it out in front, the coverage was so good that I think that the ball was placed in the only place it could be caught. And it's just a heck of a catch.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. Pressure.
Screen.
Broken up. Number 4, Steve Roncelli on the breakup. But Marshall had 2 Highlanders right in his face.
There's the earlier catch by Pierce Burke.
Drew Van Heck doing a little amateur officiating.
You know, that play that was just knocked down by Roncelli was that screenplay was very successful for Lake Orion last week.
Sweep by Matt Freeman inside the 20. 10th play of this drive.
It's one that you like to see, obviously, Lake Orion move the ball downfield, but it's one of those, when you're down 32, it's also got to be a drive that's a little bit more up-tempo so we can work to find a way.
There is the psychological thing of getting a score.
Sure there is, absolutely.
Marshall from the gun. Dylan Frank alongside of him, looks, throws to the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Pierce Burke. And
formed a nice pocket. And
number 18, Ben Lucy on the coverage.
Yeah, he never looked back, turned back for the ball. If you see the replay again, he never looked back for the ball. Face guarding? Had his hands up.
Did they do something? It's a rule change this year on that. I'll have to check with our supervisor of officials. Blitz coming. Marshall stops, looks, throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Pierce Burke. Stuck out a hand, couldn't bring it in. So the Dragons turn it over on downs after a 12-play drive. And Rochester Adams will take over 1st and 10 from their own 18.
Yeah, Marshall did all he could. Ryan Riefenberg, number 23, came off the edge and uncontested, and Marshall avoided the pressure and tried to throw it up to Burke on the post, and it just overthrew him. But trying to make something happen, and certainly not for naught, though.
Adams gathered on their far sideline. Once again, our scoreboard for this second half is brought to you by Lakes Community Credit Union. The not-for-profit institution has been providing financial services to the Oakland County area since 1937. Give them a call at 248-814-4003. So 1st and 10 for the Highlanders on their own 18. 9:25 left here in the fourth.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground. Dragons are saying they have it, and the officials agree with them.
Very interesting. You notice who's in the quarterback that time. Carter Ferris is at quarterback time. The last 4 plays that he played were all passes. The very first time he looks to run veer option, ball ends up on the ground, fumble. Lake Orion gets the ball in great field position.
Josh Wench on the fumble recovery. 6'1" junior. So the Dragons have 1st and 10 on the Adams 19. And Adams is going to call timeout. Okay, we won't do that one. We'll do, thanks Jets. We've got to find him. Here we go. Larry Buss and the crew at Jets Pizza, located at 1091 South Lapeer Road, have been a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics since 2009. Jets supplies catering for cast and crew. Thank you, Larry. Excuse me. Thank you, Larry, for your continued support. Give them a call at 248-814-7559. So, as we were saying, Dragons have the ball, 1st and 10 from the Adams 19. Twins to the left, single wide out to the right, single back in the backfield. Dylan Frank gets the carry, breaks a tackle inside the 10, inside the 5, and there's going to be a face mask on top of it. Dylan, while fighting for additional yardage, got grabbed in the face, and that'll move it half the distance.
Speaking of face masks, I just went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this past week with my daughter, who's 9 years old, and talk about the evolution of equipment.
Isn't that something?
She had leather shoulder pads on, she had leather helmets on, all the way up to what's the best and brightest today, and it's great to see the evolution of the game from an equipment standpoint to make this game a better and safer experience for the kids.
We were talking, and watch Dylan. He keeps his legs moving, and the only way they're going to get him is to grab the face mask. We were talking not too long ago, and when I was playing grade school football or junior high football, it was a great achievement when I got a face bar, a single bar. The first year I had no face mask. So 1st and goal from the 1. Offset eye in the backfield. Dylan Frank gets the ball. He's in. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. $18 yards, 2 plays. Dylan Frank on the 1-yard run.
That's what Dylan does best, follow his guard and run between the tackles. And with that body ling and that leg drive and that vision he's got, that's it's sometimes in games like this, it's no coach is going to want to say it's winning a play here, winning a play there. They want to win. Ultimately, want to win the football game. But sometimes it's the little things that when a team is struggling that you need to have happen in a game to start instilling and building some confidence.
Dragons going for 2. Johnny Marshall on the roll, looks, throws, good. Completed to
Trevor Burke.
For the 2-point conversion. 9:14 left here in the 4th. Dragons trail 32-8.
Burke coming out of the backfield from his fullback spot. And that's the touchdown by Dylan Frank.
Orion Neighborhood Television is holding our annual film festival coming up in October. The kickoff event is Friday, October 13th. After the films have been judged, they will premiere at Oxford 7 Movie Theater. For more information about ONTV's Film Fest or to participate, call us at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-1060.
I will say this, the differential certainly is bigger this week. Lake Orion down 24. Last week they were down 17 right about this time. And when it was all said and done, Lake Orion was able to cut it to 20-17. I know Lake Orion's down 24, and right now certainly the lead is bigger, but I don't want to say they've been in this situation before, but something very similar last week. You just never know what might happen in this game. We've seen a whole bunch of different things happen.
Especially with Lake Orion and Adams. It has been, if anything, a crazy series. Onside kick covered by number 5, Jack Bishop. So Adams gets the ball on their own 49-yard line. And there's going to be a conference.
The flag was thrown way back here.
I don't see.
Called a procedure penalty, but
I don't even see where the referee is.
He was called way back here.
He's back like he's waiting for a kickoff.
Re-kick.
So they're going to re-kick. They're calling procedure against Lake Orion. So now they're going to kick off from the 35. Adams still looking for the onside or a pooch. And the kick is taken on the Dragon 45. Caught the 46. Where Adams will take over 1st and 10.
That's a tough tough play to execute, that onside kick. I mean, it's got to be hit perfectly. It's got to hit, an up man. It's got to, just a number of things that got to go right.
It's something you've got to work on. When you practice it and you do it right, it's a beautiful thing. Number 7, Cole Petrito on the carry. He's got a first down at the 35-yard line with 9:06 left to play. Petrito's had a good game, and we talked about it in the pregame. The three-headed monster has shown itself.
Yes, they have. I mean, offensively, but defensively, I mentioned Coach Petrito's comment. He thinks those three and then Vincent Gray are the four best two-way players in Oakland County, and certainly we haven't seen every team play this year in Oakland County, but they're up there if they're not the best. So I can see why he's excited about his squad this year.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Handoff inside down to the 30 goes number 7, Cole Petrito. And by the way, Lake Orion has West Bloomfield coming in next week. So they don't get any easier.
But I don't think Coach Blackstock would want it any other way. I mean, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's part of the mentality. It's been that way for forever here at Lake Orion. So, right now it looks like 0-1 right now. More likely 0-2, and there's things every single week that need to be improved. I mean, there's some things that Lake Orion has done well tonight. Yes. Collectively, it doesn't show that on the scoreboard, but there's things to build on.
And Soldan gets buried. Jordan Lewis was in there. Number 24, Isaac Kinney in there.
Yeah, so Soldan kind of kept the football and said, there's too many green jerseys around. I'm going to kind of give myself up and go down. Smart thing.
Once again, replays for this game are sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Proud supporters of ONTV since 2009. 3rd down and 6 for the Highlanders. Motion this side. Chased Coretta on the carry. He's close to, but has not picked up the first down. It'll be 4th and 1.
Looked like for sure Chase kind of slowed his running motion up, and I don't know why he didn't use his speed to get to the edge, but whether he's trying to want to keep that clock running or what, I don't know. But
Coretta came off a little gimpy.
Maybe that's why.
There at the end, he was walking kind of gingerly off the sideline. So 4th down, and call it 1.5 yards. Scoreboard's calling it 2. First down, Highlanders. They had to get to the 25, and they got to the 25. I think it depends on the spot. Yeah, they're waving the flags down. So it'll be 1st and 10.
We'll be back on ONTV next week, next Friday night. Now this is Thursday. We've got 1 week from tomorrow night. West Bloomfield is in town.
Then they go to Troy Athens and Southfield A&T, who played a classic game last week against Davison.
56-54 in triple overtime.
Our other schedules, we will be there for the Oxford game on October 6th and for the OAA crossover game.
Nice tackle by Hastings.
Tackle by Hastings, yes. Number 1, Reese Collins, came around the left side and wasn't quite necktied, but was taken down by the shoulders by Sam Kinney. So Carter Ferris comes back in. And he gets buried. He tried to hand off, pulled it back in, and was met by half the defense. Tyler Vestrand came in. Jordan Lewis has been in all night. Kobe Manzo checks in at that linebacker spot. He's had a good game tonight. And it's 3rd down and 12 for the Highlanders. Ball's on the 27-yard line. Looks, throws. Reese Collins in for the touchdown. Carter Ferris dropped back and threw a beauty of a pass.
Nobody in the center of the field. And that's just a slot receiver running a go route right down the seam, right down the middle of the field. At the last second there, you saw Chad Dolan put his hands on his head like,
that was mine.
That was, yeah.
Ben Patton in for the point after. High snap, gets it down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:06 left in the game. Rochester Adams 39, Lake Orion 8. As we stated earlier, ONTV is getting ready to launch our own brand new internet radio station. You can create your own podcast or radio show or sign up to become a DJ. For more information on the radio station, give ONTV a call at 248-693-3377 or 248-693-1060, and that should actually be 393-1060. We'll make that correction so we don't stumble across it the rest of the season. 46 yards in 7 plays for the Highlanders. Touchdown pass from Carter Ferris to Vincent Gray for the touchdown. Ben Patton has been a busy young man tonight. He's got it teed up on the 40. Approaches, low kick, taken by one of the up men over the 30 to the 35. Kobe Manzo on the return. He's up to the 36 where Lake Orion will take over, 1st and 10. John Marshall still at quarterback. Twins to the left, single wide out to the right, single back in the backfield. Marshall back to pass, looks, got pressure, got time, throws, incomplete. Intended for Drew Van Heck, and he had number 20, Nick Kanea, hanging all over him.
Marshall does a nice job of buying time and avoiding pressure and doing a nice job of keeping his eyes open and downfield, knowing he's got to try to create something. And he got the ball to Van Heck in a nice spot.
Handoff inside, number 27, Jack DeBrinket on the carry. He's got about 4. Brings up 3rd down and 6 with 3:29 left to play. Twins to the left, single wide out to the right. Marshall's in the shotgun. Inside handoff, up the middle. Goes number 27, Jack DeBrinket. And that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, real nice run by DeBrinket.
Ball spotted on the 41. DeBrinket again. Cutting outside. He had a little seam. It closed up in a hurry.
They're going to call a holding on Hunter Chambers, I believe, right now. But he is driving his guy. At least I think that's what the flag was. They threw it right in his vicinity. But he is drive blocking his defender. 5, it seemed like 10 yards downfield. I think they got him for a hold.
We'll see what referee Scott Walendowski, and he indeed says holding against the Dragons. We'll repeat first down.
It looked awful good from up here, I'll tell you that. It did. I thought his hands were inside the framework.
Ball's on the ground.
Kevin McCormick in at quarterback.
Yeah, we have a pretty proud sideline reporter down there somewhere. Kevin is a 5'8" junior. Fakes a handoff, gains about 2. If anything, they're going to mark him with a 1-yard loss. Bring up 3rd down and 29 yards to go. Getting some substitutions in now, late in the game. McCormick in the shotgun. Side handoff. Around the right side. Number 23, Jeremiah Niehoff. I'm sorry, number 28, Vance Wilmoth on the carry. Bring up a 4th and 13 for the Dragons. The ball's inside Rochester Adams territory at the 44. And the clock is running. We are inside a minute to play. So 4th and 13. Kevin McCormick stays in the shotgun. Ball's gone and he falls on it on the 45. And Rochester Adams will take over with 37.8 seconds left, up 39-8. And Chris, the only thing to say is you go back to the practice field on Monday.
That's why they play 9 weeks in the regular season, because there's more games to play and there's more things to work on and there's more improvements to make, and they'll do that, and that's what Lake Orion coaches have always done, and spend a lot of time in making adjustments and making corrections, both from a personnel standpoint to a scheme standpoint. And when it's all said and done, they got to find a mix offensively that is going to allow for more points on the board. So I know the staff will be working hard on all phases of the game to improve to get ready for West Bloomfield.
And Adams, to their credit, they've moved back up to Division I, and they've done themselves very well in the 2 games so far. Last 30 seconds of the game. And as the clock runs, this one will be over, and the Lake Orion Dragons fall to the Rochester Adams Highlanders 39-8. Last seconds tick off, and that's the end of the ball game. Final score, Rochester Adams 39, Lake Orion 8. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. We'll be right back.
Please remember to put any food wrappers, drink containers, and other trash in the garbage cans. We look forward to seeing you again on.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of melanoma, the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Down on the field after a 39-8 win by Rochester Adams, joined by head coach John Blackstock. And JB, it's never easy after a game like this. The team looked like they played hard. You cleaned up some of the things you said you wanted to get cleaned up, but it is, to use the saying, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, I'm shocked. I think we're all a little bit shocked. I got to give Adams a lot of credit. You know, Tony had those guys ready to go. They came in, fired up, and played a great game. They're great at what they do in terms of offensively and defensively. They don't do a lot, but they do it really well, and that's something that we're really trying to work towards. You know, with a little bit different scheme, but trying to get to that type of play, and. You know, I just felt we had a lot of mental mistakes. You know, things that we did really well during the week, just kind of didn't happen for us tonight. You know, and we've got some more things to clean up. You know?
I thought the defense, for the most part, last week played really well. There was one big play they gave up. You know, the long pass, but it was the special teams that ended up being the kick in the tail, if you will, last week, that resulted in short fields. This week, you knew you probably came in, you had to stop their three-headed monster, if you will, and we talked about that as being one of the keys to the game. Talk about defensively from week 1 to week 2, how you thought you performed.
You know, last week we performed really well. I mean, our defense, I thought, was outstanding last week, and was in some really tough situations. And you know, we put our defense in some tough situations again this week. You know, you talk about the three-headed monster. We really needed to take dive away, you know, in the veer in the midline, and felt like for the most part we did a pretty good job of that, you know, and the quarterback hurt us. And then the counter, you know, which is again kind of a shock to me, but you know, it is what it is, and that's how it happens, you know.
Next week, West Bloomfield comes in. It doesn't get any easier, but that's OAA division, or Red Division football, and we were talking up in the booth, you really wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it at the beginning of the season, and probably one of the tougher schedules we've seen in a long time. You know, and the guys had said, well, they wouldn't want it any other way, and the coaching staff wouldn't want it any other way. But you're right, there is no break. We talked about that in the preview show with the Terraminas, and that's the thing, we've got to get to work on some film tomorrow and get the kids working out and in the weight room and a little bit of running and get ready to get back to work, because there's no time to rest and wait, because it's go time again for next week with a really, really talented West Bloomfield team coming in.
Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Appreciate it.
Have a good week of practice. We will talk to you next Friday night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So from the field, there's no way you can sugarcoat this, no way you can make it feel any better. 39-8, the Rochester Adams Highlanders beat the Lake Orion Dragons. We'll be back next week when West Bloomfield comes into town. For our producer, Ian Locke, our director, John Atwater, all the ONTV people up in the booth, from my broadcast partner, Chris Fritching, I'm Doug Corliss. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.